Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, nothing really in the church news except for they're wanting you to commit suicide. There's a new video that explains how you can tell on someone who is wanting to commit suicide. Bishop, they're wanting to commit suicide. Excommunicate them. Suicide is a sin. Get them. The church has already been in the hot seat for their hotline to protect our bishops from sexually harassing little kids. Dear God, the church is the cause of Mormons' depression. That's why Mormon women in Utah is the highest per capita in the universe ever who take depression medication. It's because the church is beating up the women severely. And like an abused spouse, they don't blame the spouse. They understand them. They speak for God. He's not like this. He's a good man. He provides for the church. Get out now. Quit making excuses for wickedness. And the church is taking credit for women in Montana sewing, a woman in Montana, just one woman. She sewed 1,400 dresses for children, and the church is taking credit for it. You know, the church thinks that they're good because of one Mormon. She's not obeying. Is she married? Does she have kids? Is she pregnant? Or is she a career woman? And then, like I told you, the church is wrapping things up this year. They just finished the last podcast on the Joseph Smith Papers. It's done and over with now. And just in time for the collapse of the church. Every Mormon who paid their tithing insurance money, expecting a return on their investment for Armageddon and a day that shall burn as an oven, which is why it's called fire insurance. Well, you shouldn't have gotten involved with gambling. You were warned by the prophets not to gamble. Yep. No refunds. No returns on your investment. Right, James Huntsman? Bastard calls it a donation. So, yeah. This is what they're doing here. They're destroying the church. This is what I've been leading to all of these years. They're building up the church, pushing Jesus hardcore. Because Jesus doesn't exist. He's never going to come. He's never going to give you peace. He's never going to give you safety. He's never going to heal you. That's the trap. This is not Joseph Smith's church. The Book of Mormon is not another testament of Jesus Christ. They are not Christian. Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are the learning of the Jews. And that's a completely different interpretation. And that's the trap that Brigham Young, to this day with Nelson, are setting for you. To destroy Joseph Smith's church and the Book of Mormon. And so, yeah, they weaponized you as Mormons to hate the Bible. And it got so bad as the church, did you notice? As they were doing the whole law in Davis County, the church at the same time was promoting anti-pornography. using their psychologists to back them up, just like they do for all scientific studies that the church pays for to rig a certain way. They were doing that with psychology for pornography. The church set this all up, guys, and fired, excommunicated Natasha Helfer because she said pornography is not addictive. Masturbation is healthy. Get her out of here. You're ruining the church's plans. And so, yes, they banned the Bible for pornography. The church set it up. They weaponized the Mormons to do it. That's why the church is not making a statement on any of this. Just doesn't exist. And so now the Book of Mormon is in jeopardy. Book of Mormon's going to get banned. People are going to understand, hey, wait a minute, Travis has been talking about even darker stuff than what the Salt Lake Tribune is telling us. Because it's not Christian interpretation. It's not literal history. They didn't happen. It's a prophecy of what will happen. It's a warning. Same as the Bible, because they're both the learning of the Jews. They don't write literal history. They wrote prophecy of the future. And so none of the characters are real characters. You got to pay attention to the meaning of the names of the heroes in the stories. You got to pay attention to what is being done and the patterns with the other stories, and tie it all to the Exodus. That's the Jewish Christ, the man like Moses, which means Moses is the pattern for everything else. So Sodom and Gomorrah, how are they destroyed? Fire from heaven, just like in the Exodus, fire from heaven. You get hung up on whether or not it was homosexuality that caused the blindness. You missed the point. You looked beyond the mark. It's not literal history, and yet you have archaeologists, Christian archaeologists, digging all over Israel, trying to find Sodom, trying to find proof, evidence. And Noah's story, the ark, dear God, I'm sure you guys even know about people who've claimed to have found the ark on Mount Ararat. It doesn't exist. However, it is based on history. Book of Mormon, not so much, per se. Those European cows. And so when the church is lying to you all these generations, they're talking about how they're going to overthrow you and conquer you and destroy you. And you don't see it. You don't recognize that this is your doom. And he calls it the way to perfection. And so that's the whole thing, is that the gathering is just like all those psycho cult groups who murdered their followers. Jim Jones down in Brazil or whatever. The psycho guy who thought space aliens were following Hale-Bopp or whatever. They all killed their followers. This is what the church is doing. They're setting you up to be murdered. Thinking of suicide? Good! Finding out that the Book of Mormon is porn? Great! Jesus! Are you seriously willing to die for Jesus? You're going to stick with the church until they kill you, murder you, technically. Thou shalt not murder, not kill. There is a difference. And everybody translates it wrong. Even the Jews. And then conflicts come up. Oh no. Am I allowed to go to war? The Bible says I'm not to kill. No, murder. As long as you're defending, not the aggressor, you're fine. And that's what the whole Sermon on the Mount is. Christians screwed it all up, so now you get abused rather than standing up for yourself and taking legal action against them. Oh, you didn't realize that's what it was for? God. Yeah, the church will never tell you. They'll tell you to turn the other cheek. And they won't explain the context that turning the other cheek means let them draw first blood so that you can take them to court and sue them for all they're worth. Except for their loincloth. The coat and the cloak. Joke is not funny if I have to explain it. You have to know your scriptures. So, yeah, that's... I mean, it's this one woman. This also exposes that the church didn't do it. Church didn't sew 1,400 dresses for children in need. You have to donate them to the church in order for the church to give them to children. If you give money to the church and saying, please buy clothes for children, oh, yeah, okay, sure. They'll form an LLC company, put 10% into that LLC company, and then buy a sufficient amount for 1% of the money you gave for actual clothes. So if you give them $10, yeah, they're not even going to bother giving clothes to a child. But if you give 1,000, 10%, $100 will go into a new LLC company that they form that will be invested into the stock market. Nelson's told us this is what he does for every source of income. This is not a surprise to you. It shouldn't be. And then with the $900 left, they may spend $100 on actual clothes. And they'll go cheap. They're not going to go expensive. And then the $800, offshore bank account. And then they'll do a press thing. Church donates clothing to children. That's how they operate. This is what they do. They're criminal, guys. They're not just lying to us. That's the whole point of their lies, is to commit crimes. You cannot be a billionaire and be good. All billionaires in the world are criminal. They got their money through committing crimes. And they're so filthy rich, the government won't stop them. Except for those rare occasions that we make the big news stories. And so the church, they're trillionaires. Yeah, nobody's touching them. And they're destroying the church, and they're going to run away with the money. And take the money and run. Excellent song for the three scenes of the trips and below, except for the Kool-Aid one that's better. By accept. That's the whole point of gathering, guys. They're not gathering you to Utah. I exposed that. Bednar put out the call. All you rich people, come to Zion. And I expose it. And then the church had to come out and correct Bednar. No. Stay where you are, poor people. Don't sacrifice to come to Utah. So Brigham Young set it up. Only the rich and his Danites came in the first wave. And when the church took over, or the United States took over the next year, Brigham Young was pissed. And so the 49, he then starts the Perpetual Immigration Fund criminal operation, which is what the church got shut down for in 1887. And you thought it was polygamy. So, yeah, they're purposely gathering Mormons to destroy you as Mormons. Turn the whole world against you. I read it from the Book of Mormon yesterday, and I didn't even get to one because of the big news that I needed to capitalize on to get lots of views. Mormons are going to be a hiss and a byword around the whole world because of this Bible. The Bible incident that the Mormon housewives did in Davis County is going to ruin the church. And the church is laughing. Going, this is awesome. They're planning where they're going to, well, they've already got their island retreat where they're going to hide out when they have to flee. Money's in the offshore bank accounts. They've all set it up. They know exactly what they're doing. They've been plotting this since 1923, in fact, because Brigham Young's way failed as the United States shut it all down. So they had to do a new technique, a new plot. So, yeah. That's the criminal operation of missionary recruiting. You bring in people to pay tithing. That's a pyramid scam. And you get mad at me for pointing it out. Give you the law. No pyramid schemes. You get mad at me. It's just ridiculous. And now I've exposed Mormon men want to rape their kids. Their little girls. As I got a Mormon to confess, that's exactly what he wants to do. Did he not read the thumbnail picture that attracted him to click on it in the first place? And here he is, quoting the Article of Faith. We have religious freedom. Oh my God. So yeah. Church doesn't care about the actual buildings getting destroyed. That's why they don't have insurance on them, I found out. I thought they had insurance on them. No, only temples they have insurance. But the church buildings, no insurance. They don't care about them. They don't care about you. And so they know that Armageddon is coming. They paid for it. 33 pieces of silver. You're going, no, Travis, it was 30 pieces of silver. No, 33. If you're unfamiliar with the square and the compass of the 33-degree Masons of the Scottish Rites Lodge, you'd understand and go, oh, that was hilarious. Like the one member or one subscriber who caught on to my Kirk reference. So yeah, the church is abandoning you guys. They're setting it all up. They're finishing their work. They're done. You know, they'll take as much money as you'll give them until it finally happens. But they're finished. They're done. They're waiting for the one trigger that'll set it all off. And those Davis County women, Mormon housewives, did it. They set things in motion. And now the whole world is going to hate Mormons. And Mormons are going to be a target for abuse and violence. You're going to be forced to denounce the church and the Book of Mormon. And you're going to go, no, it's true. And then you'll die. Or you'll be cowards and say, okay, no, I believe in Christianity and Jesus, Trinity, okay. That's the trap. Benjamin F. Johnson. That's why I do these videos, guys. trying to help you, because I can't give you everything in every single video. I didn't even give you 1%, let alone 10% or 100% or 100th part or whatever. There's just so much that the church does that you have to do a deep dive study to figure it all out. And it's been a lot of work, and I'm tired. 10 hours of sleep last night. I woke up at 1, decided, no, let's get a few more hours of sleep. 5 more hours. Dear God. So yeah, my body needed to catch up on sleep, I guess. So, alrighty. I hope you guys are prepared, because none of you know where to go. You don't know where Zion is, do you? How many of you have been following my channel and know? How many of you haven't followed my channel and know? And if you said Missouri, you're wrong. 19 July 1840 from the Joseph Smith Papers. Plus all of the signs and the scriptures that tell you. Dear God, Samson. The stories of Samson tell you not only where on earth Zion is to be located, he also gives you the dates of when. Samson, Sun King. And you have no clue, because I'm the only one on earth who knows about it. And I've been sharing it with you. And you don't believe, you don't care. Jesus.